But you know, back to the Apple episode.
Well, are you going to talk about it before you put that
We
back?
can talk about it now. It's fun. I have to make sure this thing is clear to memory anyway. So, so essentially, the crew does battle with this snake robot head thing. Who, it's interesting because they teach what the robot does is these are like innocents. The inhabitants are like Oompa Loompa people are innocent people. They don't know about love or sex. They don't know what death is. In fact, when in the beginning, when they jump Kirk and he punches in the face, the big giant guy starts to cry because he's never been hit before, which I think is kind of funny. And so this robot thing has like kept the crew innocent,
It's not crew.
or
The
the
inhabitants.
inhabitants. You're right. Sorry.
Um, yeah, yeah, they're ignorant to the ways of the flesh. And it's interesting because they've been trained to have their whole lives be about taking care of this thing.
Yeah.
And so they wind up feeding it twice a day, and it's like fruit or something, or flowers or herbs. I don't know. I can't really figure it out. It looks like bunches of something, right? That it's interesting that somehow this machine has been adapted to convert whatever that material is into its energy source. But it
Yeah.
was funny because um, Spanky was like, "Oh, people are throwing themselves in there." I'm like,
Yeah.
"But there's no new people. They don't have babies. They don't know how that works." No, that's not what's happening. You watch them come back out.
Yeah.
But he was used to watching it on a small screen.
So yeah. So the first time I watched the Apple, I think it was one of the first episodes of the original Star Trek I watched, and I think it was my ninth birthday, and I made all my friends at my party watch Star Trek, of course,
Wow,
which
you still had some.
and I thought that the robot big head snake thing was eating the people and they were sacked, but that I guess that wasn't what's happening. Um, but the other thing that's kind of fun about this episode, like the kind of trope about like if you're in red, you're gonna die. Like, holy shit, is it true of this episode? If you had a drinking game with the amount of guys in the red shirts that die, you'd be drunk as hell by the end of the episode. So many guys, and they all die at once too. It's kind of funny. Hit by lightning, hit by the bullet shooting plants,
Hmm.
all sorts of things.
I actually think it's more like little acupuncture needles or something
Right?
coming out of the
Yeah.
plant.
Okay. So yeah, but in the end, the crew, of course, win. They end up shooting the Vol with the phaser, and that's the end of Vol. And now the inhabitants have to learn how to live on their own. And
Oh, but
yeah,
they do observe
oh yeah,
a human mating ritual taking
right,
place out in a field, and they're all, what's that like?
yeah,
Do you like being touched?
yeah. So
A lot, baby.
Chekhov is like really young in the original series, and like he's like trying to woo like the little cute blonde officer, and the aliens see that and they're like, oh, we want to kiss too, and this is part of what makes Vol angry. But they end up, but they liberate the
You
alien.
won't
Yeah,
have enough time to
right,
go get him all his food also.
right. So, but they in the end they end up liberating the inhabitants, and Vol's gone, and they blow up the laser, and that's it.
Hey, wouldn't that like actually violate like the Federation's rules about don't go interact and don't change the course of history and don't
And
like
and that's the thing. And like so in the early Star Trek, they kind of like there's an inference of a prime directive, but they're not sure what it. It's still kind of being fleshed out. And just so you know, in case someone who isn't a Star Trek fan is still listening by now, the prime directive is sort of like the most
you like my glasses, right?
okay. The prime directive is like the most like is the cornerstone of like the ethics of Starfleet because the prime directive is the you're not supposed the Starfleet isn't supposed to interfere with non-warp uh like humanoid species and aliens. So if they aren't at the technological level of the Federation, they're really not supposed to interact and they're not supposed to interfere, basically.
Except for they thought that it'd be a great date planet because it had that temperate.
Right.
They're like, look at this pretty garden. She's like, I always thought I'd like spend some time in a garden, and he's all smoochy smoochy. I will take this opportunity to thank you for joining us as we discuss this nerdy topic my husband's super excited about, and I am demonstrating my eternal love for him. Uh, and as I thank you, if you're enjoying this and you feel inspired, please go and buy us a coffee. And we would love to also see your, comments about what things you would like to see us explore so that we can make sure that we are moving in the direction with you. Thank you.